Hey everybody, this is Don Norton. Some talk about note sales. Uh, what is a note sale? A note sale is a note that has been created in order to sell a property. In other words, similar to a land contract where someone agrees to pay so much for a property, but they don't have all the cash, so they give some money down. Then they make payments, usually with interest accruing. Typically, say you sell a property, that they'll put 5,000 down on it, and they might the seller may carry the note. In other words, carry the payments, similar to a bank. Okay, this is where the customer would owe, say, 350 a month towards their house, and they put 5,000 down. Maybe they owed 40,000, but they only had 5,000 down, so the note would be a $35,000 note, bearing interest for however many years the interest would accrue, and also the payments would go on. Typically, notes are normally set up as a balloon. In other words, they'll say, well, I'll take payments for you for 3 years so you can get your credit straightened out. After 3 years, I need you to refinance it and pay me off, or 5 years or 10 years. Or the customer may just want payments for life because they can make more money off their interest on the note than they can off their savings at the bank. So typically, note sales are set up where a property is harder to sell, or maybe it's bad timing and they can't get it sold. So rather than take care of it, they'd sell it by creating a land contract or a note. Either way, when you buy a note, what you're getting is a legal instrument where the owner of the note holds title to the property. In other words, they have a note where they bought a property, sold it to Joe over here, but they still own interest in the property. If Joe would default, then you would get the property back for whatever you paid for the note. Typically, a note is discounted when it's sold. Okay, say I buy, if I buy a note, I'm probably not going to give more than 70 cents on the dollar for the note. So if the contract was 35,000, I'm going to give 70% of that, which would be approximately 24,500. Even though the customer that's making payments on that would owe 35,000, the owner of the note would only receive 24,500. So a lot of times when a note is sold, customers do not like to sell the note based upon that. A lot of times they'll carry it till the customer pays them off or whatever. But typically, a note is sold per se. However, whatever the terms of the note are, that's how long the customer would have to pay you off. If you have any questions about a note, give us a call, 765-896-9410. We'll try to explain it the best way we can. Typically, when you buy a note, you're buying the interest in the note plus the payments. There's the property is usually already occupied, so typically, uh, when I buy a note, I have it appraised or whatever to see what the appraised value is of it. Typically, you want a note to be more value than what you pay for it. This is your session on note purchasing and note sales, understanding what a note is. A note is similar to you being the bank, where you would receive the payments the bank would normally receive. In other words, that's where the owner of the note would receive payments just like a bank would receive payments. If the people fail to pay the payments, then a note holder would typically foreclose the property, take the property back, and remarket it. Thanks again for your time. This is your lesson on note sales. Thanks.